Hello, hello, Otafest podcast listeners. I'm Angelo, and I'm here with Season 10, Episode 2 of the Otafest podcast.
Woo-woo!
With me today are Nancy and Jay.
It's us.
I got here by waking up.
And before we go any further, our 2025 theme is fantasy. Check out the amazing new art of Seph and Aurora by Neolay on Facebook, Instagram, or the platform formerly known as Twitter.
So, people are freaking out about the artwork this year. Appropriately so. It looks amazing.
It is so good. When I saw it for the first time, because I have had the privilege of seeing it about a month early, I was so inspired. I was like, I am going to make the best little pixel art based on this. And so that's what our episode tape became.
It's good
So if you
art.
haven't seen it, hit up this episode on YouTube and you can watch it loop hypnotically.
But absolutely, check out Neolay's art. It is absolutely gorgeous. I love it.
It's so pretty. And like all the little details, right? They kept a lot of the things from like last year's art. The like little effects. Things like little leg adornments, the hair adornments, all those things. And then, translated that into fantasy theme. And oh my God, it's just so freaking cute.
It really is wonderful. It reminds me, it really feels like a callback to a pin set that we had ages ago. Ages ago, we had a set of JRPG pins of the Otafest Angels. And Seph was a paladin, Aurora was a white mage. We had June as an archer and Mio as a thief or a rogue or something. And they're all just so cute. And while it is explicitly different, it is just straight up fantasy. It's not JRPG classes. I don't know, it just feels like a callback to that, and I love it.
People also be
I love
liking the
that.
scythe returning.
Mm-hmm. The scythe
Oh,
is
yeah.
calling a lot of attention. It's the OG scythe design, I think.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah,
I love
I
it.
love it.
Time for slicing.
I'm super excited because it's a theme that I don't think we've ever done like to this level of commitment. So it's just super nice because like fantasy all on its own is just such a huge category of things.
Mm-hmm.
It's massive.
Mm-hmm.
I always love to compare isekai to fantasy because isekai always steals from fantasy.
They do.
Fantasy is all about like absolute craziness. You have different genres of it. You have like low fantasy, high fantasy. You've got like tech fantasy or high tech
Science
fantasy or low
fantasy.
tech fantasy, like sci-fi. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So good.
I also think, I was just mention, I know a lot of people might not really think about what a theme means for like a yearly convention. And while I would say it doesn't inform like everything that we do, we're not like hell bent on making everything a specific theming for whatever year it is. It does help us come up with new ideas and like translate that into things like, for example, Maid Cafe has a really good time with themes. Like you'll see they'll take an aspect. I'm not going to give away what Maid Cafe wants to do this year, but I'm very excited. I'm always excited about what they like to do because they're a very creative group that really runs and rolls with all of the grander picture that we kind
Are
of
we going to
put
have a
there, I think.
fantasy maid cafe?
I mean, the Maid Cafe is already a
Are we going to
wonderful
have
fantasy.
maids with elf ears?
I think
Jay
that
can't say anything, but
I know,
I
nobody
definitely
can say
had.
people will
anything.
be
Jay
very
can't
happy.
confirm or deny.
But you're gonna have to get your tickets to the Maid Cafe to find out.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh
We'll
my
find
god,
out.
we will
We'll
be
find
certain.
I'm
We will
gonna-
be
I'm
certain
so
to be
excited.
announcing Maid
Yes.
Cafe tickets going on sale whenever that happens.
When it happens, it's going to be a huge announcement. I had like a light bulb moment right when Jay said that, and I was like, oh, No, don't say it out loud. I don't want to have my dreams either crushed or confirmed right now. So I'm just going to leave that on the back burner for a bit.
I'm completely out of the loop on anything the Maid Cafe was doing, so I legitimately have no idea.
I am not privy to Maid Cafe discussions, so I also don't know what the answer is, but I have so many guesses, and I don't want Jay to tell me if they're right or wrong.
Nothing is wrong when it comes to the Maid Cafe.
But you know what Angelo thinks has many levels of wrong.
The Minecraft movie trailer.
Yeah!
Oh my god.
Okay, for context, I have not seen the whole thing. I've just seen the incredibly memed upon snippets of it. And I think the whole thing is memed.
If someone showed me that trailer and said that it was a practical joke by the actors involved, I would have believed them.
100%.
It looks like a really CGI'd SNL skit.
Yeah, it does seem like it's an SNL skit, doesn't it?
And the whole time they have that mildly distorted version of the Beatles' Magic Mystery Tour going on. You know, back when the Minions movie came out, how all they did were play 70s and 80s pop music.
But
it was just
versions of it?
Exactly. It was just nostalgia bombing. That's what they were trying to do. And then they had honestly, I understand Minecraft's art style is not meant to be gorgeous. It is programmer art taken too far, is what it is.
True. That's why you have to do the mods yourself to make the game look great.
But somehow they made it look worse.
I think what they did was, here's the problem. You have a blockbuster franchise who wants to expand their multimedia empire. And I'm not talking about Nintendo and the Mario movie, where it was a pretty good time, but they see what Mario movie does, and they see what Sonic does, and they're like, we could do that. Not giving any reference to the amount of work that they had to do to get there, especially the Sonic movie. Remember how bad that was at the beginning? With how
their trailer
feedback was pretty bad.
So bad that they delayed it by a year to entirely redo.
Yeah, we're only very freshly in an acceptable video game movie era. We are not clear of the woods of the decades of painful adaptations.
Literal decades.
Yes.
The amount of good video game movies that came out before 2020, I'm pretty sure I can count on one hand. For a second, I was going to be like, wait a minute, you can't compare this to the Mario movie or Sonic, because this one has the live-action actors instead of the... Oh, no. Those did have live-action actors.
Yeah.
I completely forgot. I legitimately, I have never seen the Mario movie or the Sonic movie.
The Mario movie is a good time. Legit, it's a good time. I have not seen the Sonic movies, but I've heard they're also a good time, which is why it's an actual franchise now. They have sequels.
Yeah.
They made enough money. They were people having fun. I know Knuckles is in them, and I know Shadow is going to be in the next one. So...
Shadow the Hedgehog memes are always the most unhinged.
Oh, yeah.
I love them.
They were like, let's take Sonic and give him a gun.
But one thing that surprises me is okay, they've got Jack Black as Minecraft Steve. Except it's not Jack Black as Minecraft Steve. It's Jack Black as Jack Black.
Yeah.
Which is what he usually do.
But the problem...
It is what he usually do, but usually he's got some veneer of character placed on top of him. No, this time he's just got a teal t-shirt.
You know what he kind of reminded me of?
What's that?
Tom Bombadil.
I get that, actually.
Yeah.
And that's the reason they had to cut Tom Bombadil from the Lord of the Rings movies. I don't know. I feel like this is a movie that should not be.
I don't know. We're just gonna. I mean, clearly it became because it's announced as a trailer, has a cast. We're just gonna have to see it and then make judgments for ourselves when we do see it.
Yes. This makes me worried about one thing, though.
No?
Remember back like 3, maybe 4 years ago when we were doing an anime preview and I was memeing on some anime for being finger-licking good?
Oh, yes.
And that anime turned out to be one of the best anime of the last half decade.
I mean,
Valid.
it's okay
It's okay to be right.
be wrong
I'm fairly confident.
on the content that they produce to show the people what they want to do and have it, and it's their fault if it's garbage.
I'm fairly confident Minecraft is not going to be the masterpiece that Jujutsu Kaisen is. But what if I'm wrong?
But what if?
What if I'm wrong and
there's
Minecraft
always
the
a
movie
what if
is the next
until we go
Citizen
watch it.
Kane?
There's always going to be that what if there, Angelo. You're just going to have to deal with the fact that we're going to have to go and watch it. Sorry, my voice is cutting out today. We're just going to have to go and watch it, and it'll be a good time because I'll be with you. And that'll be it.
Yes.
That is the guarantee.
Yes. The only thing that I'd like to say to cap off the Minecraft movie trailer, I think everybody owes Minecraft Story Mode an apology.
I've never even played.
There's
Story
no
Mode.
way that this movie is better than Minecraft Story Mode was.
Oh, man.
I've never even.
I forgot
touched
there was a
story
story mode.
Just OG, please.
That nobody
forgot all
should touch
about
Minecraft Story Mode. It is objectively bad.
Oh, no.
Excellent.
Like, it is one of those Telltale games, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
it's not even Minecraft.
I miss
It is.
Telltale.
No.
Yeah, they're dead.
I know they've been dead for years,
They've been dead for years.
but just how memeable those character interactions were. Where it was like
Bless him.
everybody disliked that, or X character will
Everybody
remember what you said.
True. Oh my god.
Good times.
Good times. Good times. I had bad times, though.
Yes.
I had bad times this week. So I have this mouse, this nice wireless Logitech mouse, the wireless Logitech mouse G703.
Is it the same mouse that you and I have discussed at length over the last year?
Probably.
Okay.
Because I have had 2 of these mice because I do legitimately like the mouse.
It is the same one. Okay.
And both of them broke in mostly the same way.
Yep. I remember.
The first one, the little nubbin that goes on the rotary sensor inside from the mouse wheel, wore down so much that it would no longer turn the rotary sensor. And so the mouse wheel was borked. And after disassembling it many times, getting it half working many times, I finally pulled the plug on it when the switches themselves started to die. I actually replaced one of those switches. But then the other switches died, and I was like, no, I'm not doing this.
It's not worth the
So
effort.
I bought myself a brand new G703. And I've been using that for about maybe a year and a half now. Maybe that long.
I feel like it's probably hitting a moment where it's like, okay, we're past a warranty period. Time to blow.
Exactly. And so I was doing my thing. I was scrolling. I was using the mouse wheel. And I wasn't like furiously wheeling. I wasn't like pretending to be Highway Star on my mouse. I was just casually scrolling the internet. When suddenly I hear a click, and the mouse wheel is now much easier. Much easier to roll. Some Logitech mice have this cool feature where you can like hit a switch, and the mouse wheel will completely freewheel. It'll just go like new, and it'll just keep going and going.
Yeah.
That's what my mouse wheel was doing.
Oh,
and
no.
I was like, huh, that's funny. My mouse doesn't have that feature.
It does now.
It
does
do
now.
now.
It's a secret heavy level user.
But maybe
Feature.
there was a driver error because suddenly I couldn't scroll the page.
No.
I honestly don't think I've ever had a problem with any mouse wheel ever.
Another mouse wheel was destroyed.
Okay. I remember in grade school when we first got mice that had actual wheels on them, and like that one or two kids in my class who really liked to fidget with things would just go and spend the entire class just spinning the wheel. They did that for like a whole year and it was fine.
I'm fairly certain those mice would still be working today.
So what the heck, Logitech?
Are you saying that obsolescence could be planned?
So,
On purpose?
I opened up the mouse, fully expecting just the nubbin that interacts with the rotary sensor to be worn down. It was not worn down. It was snapped right off.
Oh, damn.
Cool.
It was fucking sheared.
Yay.
It was baroque.
Maybe if you didn't grip your mouse like...
Like a ham-fisted giant? Like,
yeah,
what are you
like
trying to
the
say?
way like, maybe that's why. Maybe right now what I'm really hearing is that the common denominator for the mouse breaking is your mouse hand.
Oh, apparently, though, on the internet, this is like a common thing. Like, this
Probably.
particular mouse does break this way a lot.
I hate it because I love this mouse. It is so useful. It is a good
Then
mouse.
stop snapping this mouse's spine.
No.
They need to stop getting
I'm
you to buy a new
trying,
one
but
every
it
year and a
won't.
half.
But I did my best. I tried to glue it back together.
Oh, no.
That worked for all of 30 minutes.
Yeah, no.
And so I had to do something. I had to do something that I didn't think I'd have to resort to. Downstairs in our storage cage, Dio had in box a brand new Corsair Saber mouse. Now, why did Dio have a brand new Corsair Saber mouse in a box, never opened? There is a very good reason why. When Dio first bought the Corsair Saber, the first one died within 2 weeks.
Ugh.
And so that one got returned to Memory Express. The next one lasted 1 month. So it was now beyond the return policy of Memory Express.
Boo.
And so Dio contacted Corsair for an RMA. But in the meantime, Dio needed a new mouse. So Dio went and bought a mouse. And the RMA one came in. This was like 3 years ago. Dio never opened it up. Dio was like, this mouse is so garbage. It is so bad. I do not trust it at all. I am going to leave it in the box, and someday maybe it will be useful. And that day has finally come. So the clock is ticking, and I've got about 30 days to replace this mouse.
I like Corsair products on the surface seem okay. Like they seem competitive and comparable to the other products on market. But I have also had bad luck with them breaking and not like I haven't had a Corsair mouse. I can't remember what else I've had. I think I've had like maybe headsets and some other stuff, some other peripherals. But I've had the worst luck with them breaking as well. So I try not to buy anything important or anything really.
There was a very brief period of time where Corsair was highly regarded. And I've got a power supply and an all-in-one cooler. And I'm afraid to buy anything else from them.
I have a keyboard of theirs, and it's still nice. I like it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. But that was my mouse. That was the saga of my mouse.
And
There
there's
is
more.
a new saga. So my Steam Deck. My Steam Deck was also having a problem.
Oh, no.
The reality is, back when I first got the Steam Deck, I probably should have done the unethical thing and hawked it onto eBay to get as much monies for it as I possibly could. since that was before their general release. That was still in the pre-order period.
Ooh,
And I could have gotten like $200 profit off of it.
I'm slowly recalling the episodes where you and Jay talked about this, yes.
Yeah. Instead, I wanted to keep it, which was a bad idea because I actively did not use it very much.
Oh, no.
And because I didn't use it very much, something unsurprising happened. The battery absolutely died.
Oh.
Did it inflate?
The battery, not really, no. I haven't opened it up to check. But in software, it was reporting itself at 26% health.
Ooh, yikes.
And it would last 45 minutes on battery before shutting itself down. This was really bad. This sucked. And I looked it up. A new battery for it was around $100 US.
Okay.
Yeah, fair. But I didn't want to spend $100 US. I didn't want to spend that much money. So I looked up a couple other things, and some people were saying you may be able to nudge your battery back to life by actually draining it and charging it over a number of cycles. What I didn't understand was when your battery gets down to about 5%, Steam Deck is like, heck you, I am going to shut down right now. But in the desktop mode, you can stop that. You can bypass that. So I did that. I put on a PS3 emulator and a couple of 4K videos to make the CPU go real fast and drain the battery down as fast as I could. And within 45 minutes, it went from 100% battery down to 3%. And I got the little pop-up. It's like, hey, we want to shut down. And I'm like, no, keep going. So 3% came 2%. And 2% became 2%. And became 2%. And it stayed on 2% battery, running a PS3 emulator and 2 4K videos for 2 hours.
Excuse me?
The longest 2% that ever
The
lived.
longest single percent.
That is a magic percentage right there. I was like, this blew my mind. And I was thinking that maybe my battery is not actually fucked.
Yeah. Is it just like the health metrics are wrong?
When was the last time? Maybe it's a firmware update that needs to...
It wasn't a firmware update. My
to...
Steam Deck was fully updated.
Holy shoot.
And so I ran it all the
me.
way down. Like I said, it took 2 hours for it to finally run out.
Oh,
and
Lord.
once it did, I was like, I'm pressing this button, this power button, to make sure it doesn't come back on. And then I just let it charge back up. Overnight, I turned it on, and it was at 24% health.
Okay.
And I was like, well, okay. And I did it again. And once more, it was on 2% battery for a long time. It was on 2% battery for like an hour and a half or something. Less than the previous time, but still a long time. I was honestly bewildered. This was the most weird tech phenomenon that I've seen in years. More weird than mouse wheels breaking, I tell you what. But after it died, I charged it back up. And once it was at 100%, I turned it on, checked it out, and it is now reporting 94% battery health.
The heck?
Makes sense.
Yes.
It just took like, okay.
Science.
Who
I don't
wrote
know
the
what
original
happened.
help article to do this? I'm really curious.
Reddit comments.
Dear Redditors, please explain like 5. I would like to know why this is a thing and how y'all figured it out to the point where you just wrote a how-to on this.
If I had to guess, 1 or 2 of the battery cells, I think it's a 3-cell battery in the Steam Deck.
Okay.
1 or 2 of the battery cells must have gotten so low and out of balance that the BMS cut them off. And then once I got low enough on the battery, it was like, okay, well, we'll tap into these other 2 cells just for funsies. And by doing that, it was able to balance out the cells and bring them back online, I guess.
That is nuts, but also kind of cool that you did that.
Your mileage may vary on this. This is kind of insane that this worked.
A little bit.
But I'm happy. My Steam Deck is now good to go. I tested it out. I put like a good hour of Street Fighter 6 on it, and that would have killed the battery before, and now it's still at like 70%.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, I would be too.
I am PC smart guy.
Mm-hmm. Can confirm.
Computers are unpredictable sometimes.
Yeah, and like the smarter our devices get, the worse this kind of weird conflation can be.
Sometimes you just want to reject technology and return to dirt.
Yes, dirt. With all the bugs and worms in it.
And plants.
All the plants that grow out of it. And all the good stuff you can put in it to make plants even happier.
I have been growing a few basil plants for a little while now. I started growing them from seed, but they weren't doing so hot. After a little while, they would grow to maybe about 6 inches, and then their leaves would turn brown and they would start withering away. I decided to do a thing that I knew I could do all along. After having my coffee one morning, I went over to the grounds and took a little spoon and just put a spoon of coffee in my basil plants.
Giving them that sweet caffeine jolt.
And my God, one of the plants is as much of a caffeine addict as I am, because it shot up from like 2 inches to like an 8-inch plant over the course of 2 weeks.
So I'm going to blow your mind a little bit here. If you take coffee grounds and you also take, like, you know, if you're making eggs or something and you grab the eggshell after you're done cracking an egg into your pan and you just kind of take a spoon and you crush it all up and you also mix that on, your plants will love it. I'm convinced that is why my aloe plant decided to spitefully come back from the dead and why it continues to do so incredibly prolifically well.
I mean,
so
one of the big things about growing plants indoors as opposed to outdoors, where you can sometimes just not even manage a plant, like barely water it, and it'll thrive and survive, is just nitrogen cycling, which is exactly what you're describing. When you plant something inside, you take it out of the environment and nutrients get depleted without repletion.
yeah,
That's it.
that's why you got to fertilize your plants.
Nitrogen.
And I knew that coffee could be used as a plant fertilizer. I just never tried it before. And so afterwards, I looked up, okay, I just put coffee grounds onto my plants. What am I actually supposed to do? So apparently there's a few different methods. Literally just sprinkling it on the dirt is absolutely fine. But what one method suggests is to take a teaspoon of coffee grounds. Used coffee grounds, I should say. Don't use fresh coffee grounds. Always used coffee. You can just let that steep in some tap water over the course of a couple days. And then strain out the grounds. And that water is now super rich in like nitrogen and other nutrients that plants love.
Okay.
It's got what plants crave.
Right, here's the problem. Here's the
coffee.
problem with that. What you've just described is that you're going to brew coffee, weak,
Cold
old
brew
coffee
coffee.
for your plant. But at least that's what you start with. What happens when that plant gets a taste for the good stuff?
Oh boy.
What happens
Listen,
when you
if
need
my
to get
basil
artisanal
wants espresso,
coffee waters?
I will make it espresso. That's why I bought an
Look.
espresso press.
What if you have to start getting that cat poop coffee? Huh?
No,
what
I
happens?
refuse. I refuse.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is that Angelo's basil plants are going to be extra caffeinated. So any pasta sauce I end up making with this basil is going to come with auto caffeine in it.
All dinners
Hell yeah.
at Angelo's, all pasta dinners at Angelo's that involve basil will be
Yes.
a very long night afterwards.
Very. Very long night.
Now, one thing is that coffee is acidic, right?
Yeah.
And not all plants like acidic soil.
Yes.
Thankfully, coffee grounds, used grounds, aren't too acidic. Almost everything that people love is drawn out by the brewing process.
That's why you shouldn't use fresh coffee grounds.
But apparently, aloe is one of those plants that likes alkaline soils. So it's probably getting a lot more from the eggshells than it is from the coffee grounds.
Probably. So here's the other thing. I have hydrangeas growing in the front now. Like, I had a couple that I just randomly picked up from Costco a couple years ago, and we dug a hole and just plopped them in and just like prayed for the best. They survived the winter, and now they're flowering right now. They look great. Hydrangeas really like acidic soil.
Oh, nice.
The problem with Calgary soil is that it's all clay and it's all very alkaline.
Oh, no.
So I've just been like feeding coffee grounds to my hydrangeas in the hopes that it will A, keep squirrels away, and B, be something good for them. And they seem really happy, so I'm going to call it a success. Knocking on
Hell
some
yeah,
wood.
caffeinated hydrangeas.
Yeah, caffeinated hydrangeas. I sincerely hope they survive this next winter, because next winter they'll be even bigger.
Yeah. Oh, that's exciting.
Very exciting.
That's so nice.
But yeah. Acidic soil, watch out for that.
After noticing the absurd success in one of my basils, I went and put some coffee in like the bird's eye chili plants that I've had.
Oh no.
They haven't had it long enough for me to see real results yet, but I'm excited.
Caffeinated bird's eye chili. Okay.
Oh, speaking of bird's eye chili, I don't know if I mentioned last time when we talked about gardening, but my small plant has 2 peppers growing right now.
Nice.
Yay!
2 small peppers on a small pepper plant.
Noise.
One of my plants started flowering, so I might have some peppers soon.
Yeah, you gotta give it the tickle.
Yeah. I'm gonna tickle it. I'm gonna tickle the flower.
Yeah,
You
I
gotta
also have
tickle
a
it pink.
large
Good.
plant, like a large chili plant that's maybe 4 feet tall.
Oh my god.
But I kind of neglect that one because it's so freaking big and I don't want to.
It's too many chilies.
Yeah, it's got so many flowers on it right now. And I'm like, I'm not trying to open up a hot sauce factory here.
But you could.
I have tried
You
to
could
make
make
my own hot
Jay's
sauce.
artisanal hot sauce and people would buy it.
This actually does remind me. I have attempted once to make a hot sauce, and it was actually a coffee chili hot sauce.
Oh.
Whoa, Otafest hot sauce, let's go! Uh-oh.
I'm like, I don't
I
have
hope it
food
would be better
safety
than the hot
training.
ones.
I'm not selling it.
Caffeinated hot sauce?
Oh,
Why
but
not?
if pink sauce can sell their pink sauce throughout America without food safety instructions, why can't Otafest? We'd get sued. We'd get really, really sued.
Yes.
It'd
And
be bad.
we're not in the business of getting sued, so
We
thank you.
would get unmoneyed.
We would get unmoneyed. We might have to get, unplanned.
Speaking
That'd be
of the
bad.
monies, I hear
Fair.
a certain Nancy of the Otafest podcast. I was almost said Nancy podcast. Nancy of the Nancy
Whoa.
podcast. I hear a certain Nancy raised or helped raise a good amount of the monies.
So last week I talked about joining a band, and our big yearly event happened just this week. And
Nice.
we ended up raising $13,000 for the Canadian Mental Health Association, which
Heck
was
yeah.
fantastic because
That's
our original
big.
goal was like $1,000, and then it went over, so we bumped it up to $5,000. And then on the night of the event, it skyrocketed up from like 6-ish to about 13.
Damn. That's huge.
And that's just one, right? Because it was 5 bands. So one band raised 13. I wonder what all the other ones did. I was going to go look and then try and do some like rough mental math. But anyway, we raised a lot of money for charity. We're all very, very happy about it. It was a fantastic night. My hair got hairsprayed pink, like magenta Barbie pink. And
oh no.
I am still washing it out. Like we're recording on a Sunday right now, and the event happened on Thursday. My hair is still pink. I'm still trying to
Ooh.
wash it out. And Sophie is wonderful and gave me some advice on how to do it better. And I was like, thank you, Sophie. Thank you.
Why don't you just double down?
Double down.
Instead of
just
washing
goes,
the pink out, just wash more
add
pink
more.
in.
Add more pink in.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
fighting fire with fire.
Exactly.
So I hate the way I look in photos, but some of the event photos of the show actually were really good. I was like, oh, this is actually like a
Aw.
nice photo I could show people of like us rocking out on stage, which was really
That's
fun.
great.
And so some things that I would like to highlight about the night. I have never gotten to drop so many curse words in front of coworkers in my entire life.
Hell yeah.
We popped one final song at the very end, and it was Thrift Shop by Macklemore. And that song has a lot of maybe not so good words, but I got to sing
has
all
a
of
party
them.
mode.
Yay!
Yay.
We also did an Evanescence
Nancy
song.
got to swear like a sailor.
I got to swear like a sailor.
charity.
And then we had an Evanescence song and people loved it. I got to pull out Scream for one line and it was actually very, like, people were super shocked because I don't think anybody ever thought that sound could come out of a little Nancy on stage.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, we also did a mashup and nobody knew it was coming. So they thought, oh, it's just this song. That's like a classic song. But then it was mashed up with a Beyonce song. And so people were like, what's happening? Oh my God, we're singing a whole other song all of a sudden. What's happening? That was a ton of fun. I will absolutely do it again. We actually had to add an extra guitarist to the band and they had just joined like 3 weeks from event day. They were like,
Oh
hey,
my God.
what do you need me for? And we're like, hey, we need you for Boys of Summer and we need an extra guitar here and we need an extra guitar here, and like rocked it. Absolutely owned it. It was so good. It sounded so good on performance night. I'm so proud of us.
That's wonderful. Oh, I wish I could have been there.
It was so fantastic. I wish you'd been there. People were like an appropriate amount of buzzed because we were like the first band to go on after the DJs, and people were like pressed up against the stage, arms flailing at us. The entire crowd sang along for the entire set, which was amazing because thank you. You helped me remember the lyrics to the song I'm singing. It was a good time. It was fantastic. The Grand is a fantastic venue for live performance. I really enjoyed it.
Ooh.
Oh, is that the
That
one on
sounds so fun.
like what?
Sixth.
Okay.
It's on 6th Ave.
Yeah.
6th Ave and like 1st Street.
I think I've attended a show there once.
So the thing I love most about the venue is that the performance stage and the area for the audience is walled off from the area where you go to order drinks and order food. So you are not
nice.
competing with people in the same space who are trying to yell over the music to order things and pay for things. And all of the food and drink is more or less kept separate in a way. So like the floor is less sticky and it's not a big mess waiting to happen. But also I can actually hear myself in this venue. Our previous venue, it was impossible. You couldn't hear yourself. So you just kind of, I think I
remember
mentioned
you
this.
telling me that.
I mentioned this last year. The only way I could figure out where we were in the song was if I could feel the drums behind me. That's it.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I couldn't hear any instruments and I couldn't hear the other vocalists, so I just had to really know my song.
Oof.
It was rough. But this year I could actually hear everybody, so it was great. Also, please, if you go to live events, please bring hearing protection. It is so much better for you. I do not want tinnitus for anyone.
I agree.
Nudge, nudge, hint, hint. Tinnitus.
It's crazy how at events where the point is to hear things, they play it so loud that it will stop you from ever hearing anything else again.
The irony does not escape me.
It's because they were like, my show is the best. You don't need to hear anything else.
No, not after this.
No.
You'll never need to hear anything ever again.
I think it's because the roadies that set it all up also have no hearing, so they set the volume up too high.
Very possible.
Maybe
Actually,
if they just worn earplugs.
Speaking of which, though, shout out to the production crew at the venue because they were really super professional and they're union, so they actually do follow the rules very well.
Hell yeah.
We like that.
Hell yeah.
I support that. But yeah, it was a good time. Maybe Otafest should do something like that.
A big old charity.
A big old charity concert.
Hell yeah. That'd be cool.
It's not me asking for any sort of confirmation. It's just me going, that'd be a fun night. Just as like a fun thing to do.
I mean, there's always a possibility. We just need suggestions. Suggestions help drive, the content that we make.
Event planning. It's true. We do value feedback from all of the community.
Yeah.
And now's the perfect time to start planning it.
True. Very true.
Now is also the perfect time to start planning next week's episode.
Which will probably actually be the fall preview episode.
But planning has begun already.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Here it comes.
Quick, to the planning board.
No. Thanks for listening.
See you next time.